Moseley Road looking perfect. St Helens have Steve Prescott at fullback, Arnold, Haig, Newlove, Sullivan. Hammond is the standoff and Goulding the captain. Up front, Perolini, Cunningham, O'Neill, Pickavance, McVie and Northey. And on the bench, Busby, O'Loughlin, Matautia and Anderson, coach Sean McRae. Broncos, Martin, Afire, Kraus, Barwick, Martin, Tollett and Edwards. Dunford, Beasley, Mestrov, Rosalind, Borden, Gill. The bench, Salter, Seavey, Roskill and Duncan. Coach Tony Curry. It's a carpet of green at Knowsley Road, and Stuart Cummins is the match referee. The man, of course, who was in control of the Saints' Wembley day. It's Saints against London, two priceless Super League points at stake, and here we go. First touch for Carl Hammond, who pops the ball inside to Paul Newlove, and Newlove taking on Afire and taking on Borden and taking on Gill, but on that occasion coming out second best. He goes to the ground. This is O'Neill now with the run.
We said it was going to be tough, and you could see that Gill came in very heavy then with the left arm.
Opening set of 6, and that's Derek McVie, all wrapped up. Great London defence this is. The kick downfield from Hammond, and it turns Nick Martin, the Scottish international, round. He picks up on his own try line, and a huge wall of defenders coming up. Oh, but Arnold misses him, and that's a good run from Nick Martin, the London Broncos fullback.
Tremendous play there by Martin, who I think tonight will be peppered unmercifully should I say, by the St Helens kickers, especially Bobby Goulding. Looked for the high kick all night from Goulding.
Here now is David Kraus taking on Paul Newlove, one of the confrontations that was picked out by Darrell van de Velde before the match, our studio guest. Mestrov now will run the ball forward. Great crowds of forward pass from the St Helens supporters, and the referee is unimpressed. That's a poor ball though. Dunford overran it, it bounced off his ankles, and the referee is going to put the scrum down for the knock on. I'm not sure it was.
Well, it came off the feet. This should have been play on, but it was a knock on there. It should be a head and feed now to the Broncos.
And it is.
Well spotted there by Stuart Cummins. But you're right, Eddie, it hit the Bronco leg to start with, so it was all play on from here, and you could see that the big player, Derek McVie, could not bend down quick enough to pick it up.
So the Broncos back in possession. This is Edwards. Edwards gets the ball away to Barwick, and he's all wrapped up by Bobby Goulding.
Tremendous tackle, ball and all there by Goulding.
Borden now will drive them down the middle, the Broncos.
He's got a point to prove as well, Russell Borden. He's been on the bench for quite some time, but he starts tonight because of the injury to Terry Madison. So expect a big game from him.
Beasley pops the ball up into the arms of Edwards. Boos around the ground because Edwards, in his Wigan days, was a real thorn in the St Helens side. Tollett, the 1996 British Lion tourist. His pick, though, is easily fielded by Arnold. That's a good chase by Tollett to bring Danny Arnold down. Now Andy Hay for the Saints, drawing applause from the crowd. Cunningham, the dummy half. Goulding into the arms then of Hammond. Hammond then gets the ball away to Andy Northey, playing it loose forward tonight.
Tremendous tackle there by the second rower, Steve Rosalind. The Broncos really do mean business in defence. We knew it was going to be tough.
Well, we had some classic encounters between these two last year. They were really, really close, and the opening weekend, it was only 4 points that separated them again. Saints won there, and they know that they're in a real battle royal tonight.
Big hit there over the top, and Dunford came in late.
The kick downfield is for Sullivan. Tony Martin's after it, and Martin is safe. Sullivan, though, closes him down. Good chase from Anthony Sullivan.
Tremendous stuff, and a crunch tackle there by the winger. Well, both sides mean business. We said before the match kicked off, both sides vital for the 2 points, but good work from Sullivan.
Robbie Beasley spins away from the dummy half roll, gets to the 20-metre line, tackled there by Pickavance and Newlove. Inevitable that was Mestrov, the first receiver. Played the ball quickly to Beasley. Beasley then gets the ball away. Dunford picks himself up. He plays the ball again to Beasley. That's Gill. Borden was the dummy runner, ran diagonally across the face. No penalty.
They thought he was a shepherd, but he did not interfere with any St Helens player coming up to make the tackle. was too far back.
That's a beautiful kick from Edwards. It's got Prescott in the in-goal area, but Prescott had the time and space. In fact, they didn't give him the space.
The big centre, David Krause, was in front of the kicker, so he must give him 10 metres. He failed to do that. You can see that there was about 5 in front of the kicker, and the screaming of the referee, Stuart Cummings, was not heard by them. They should have stood back the 10. They failed to do that. You can see it's 5 metres away. There's the obstruction that they thought it was on. They were way back in the defence. Well spotted there by Cummings to allow that to go on. Well, he's fast and furious, Eddie.
Certainly is. Hammond pops the ball for Pickavance. Good tackling by Mestrov. Cunningham. Oh, the referee has seen an infringement at the play the ball. Hands in by the Broncos. Penalty against them.
Not so sure that Cunningham enjoyed that. He was away. You could see they were very slow to set up their defence from this play the ball. There was definitely interference there, but Cunningham was off.
Hammond to Perolini, who straightens it up and goes round Borden. Desperate defence from Peter Gill. Hammond again to Prescott. Prescott to
Forward,
McVie.
surely.
And the referee's got it. McVie's passed out. Andy Haig was forward.
He knows it too. There's a big Australian, Derek McVie. The idea was good. The centre, Andy Haig, he was coming through fast. It's a bad mistake. Boom. Just in front. Easy to spot by Cummings.
The Broncos then in possession with Peter Gill. Now it's with Tulson Tollett. Here is Sean Edwards. Edwards anxious for a big game on his return to Knowsley Road. A ground he always used to relish coming to when he was with Wigan, of course. That's Steve Rosalind. He plays the ball. Quick play the balls tonight so far. Dunford is drilled into the ground by Norby. Couple of handling errors against St Helens. That's Mestrov, though.
Well, it was their problem last week. Also for London, too many errors.
Lovely kick through by Edwards, but well watched by Steve Prescott. Prescott almost dragged into touch by Krause and Martin. St Helens then back in possession. Good defence from Martin. It could have been a flop from Beasley. Beasley getting to the shirt tails of Paul Newlove. Saints having difficulty getting away from their own try line here. It's stern defence. Now they might make some space. This is Andy Haig. Good tackle by Afire.
Martin Afire came in off the touchline. Cunningham's away. This is crunch time. This is when it hurts. Defence is on top.
Hammond fires a long ball into the arms of Prescott. He's tackled by Krause. That's the last one. Now Newlove. He's got support outside and it's Sullivan. Danger here. Hammond is there as well. Good tackling by Martin. Gets the pass away though still to Goulding. Goulding puts the kick in. It bounces up over prone bodies and goes into touch.
Accidental ricochet there. Goulding saying that it came off a Bronco. It makes no difference. There's a kick through under a lot of pressure. But none of the players made any move for it, so that'll be on the last. But look at the fire. Took the gamble there. The young centre Andy Haig fell the full brunt of that. Well, they really have been working hard. Their coach Tony Curry made it quite clear that he was not happy with the defensive effort last week, and it's showing tonight.
Well, they lost here, London Broncos, very narrowly, and Tony Curry wasn't too impressed with the fact that they went down 24-22 here. Then they lost at the Valley 38-28. Then they lost a Premiership semi-final here by the widest margin. Just 9 points, though, 25-14. They have yet to beat the Saints in any of their matches, and this is the 12th game between these two clubs. And it's fast and it's furious at Knowsley Road as Barwick puts a chip in down the line. Prescott moves across and gets it, and then he gets a clatter from Barwick, and he wasn't impressed, but Stuart Cummings says nothing wrong with that, but there's something wrong with that. That's a penalty to St Helens.
They were not squared at the play the ball. Well, I thought also that could have been a bit of a problem. Steve Prescott took an eternity to play the football. All he wanted to do was look at the referee and try to get the penalty. Oh, lucky there, Perolini.
Just held on to the football. This is Cunningham. Now it's Hammond, and out wide it goes to Derek McVie, and he's looking over the shoulder, but everyone had overrun him. Now Andy Haig. Good tackling by Peter Gill. Dunford in there as well. Pickavants to the halfway line.
Saints with a better serve to try to get the ball out wide. Miss a man out every now and again.
Hammond back to McVie, up the middle. He pops it back to Pickavants. Pickavants to Perellini. Perellini to Goulding. Goulding a loose pass, but it came off courtesy of Prescott. Prescott to Andy Northey. Northey taking on Edwards and Tollett and Tony Martin. That's the last tackle. Prescott's done the half.
Tremendous play, Eddie, from Saints. They're keeping this ball alive, twisting in the tackle. The crowd are loving it.
Good kick, meanwhile, from Carl Hammond.
There you see Hammond punches the ball in. It bounces well over the top of Martin. But full credit to the Saints there. They kept the ball alive under a lot of pressure. They talk about defences getting up there and getting into the face.
So it's London Broncos head and feed. Edwards out the back of the scrum. It comes to Peter Gill. And Peter Gill operating tonight at loose forward because Terry Mattison is out of the side and injured. 4 tries from Peter Gill, by the way, this season in Super League, and all in front of our cameras.
Second effort by the Australian McVie. He does the tackle on Barwick, then just pulls him back. Not impressed, the coach Sean McRae, and rightly so.
Nestrov was the runner. He was watched by Cunningham, and he was watched also by Pickavants. Here's Dunford. Dunford back to Beasley. Beasley then spreads it wide to Tollett. Ball goes back, says the referee. Krause picks up the pieces.
Well, both defences so eager, so keen. It's very rare we've seen a clean break, but it's come 2 from Saints. London yet to make the clean one.
Edwards. Edwards to Borden. A penalty for a head-high tackle.
Well, we knew it was going to be rough and tough, and you can see there Cunningham goes over the top. Sullivan went high too. Borden, who's working hard. Impact time. Boom. Cunningham didn't miss. Borden said, I'll take another 5. Well, will they take the 2 points on offer?
Yes, they will. Stuart Cummings just asked Sean Edwards what they were doing, and he pointed immediately to the posts. Greg Barwick is going to have a shot at goal here. Barwick, 2 tries and 3 goals here last year in the narrow defeat. 16 goals, in fact, in his last 4 meetings against the Saints, and 13 in Super League 2. Well, I make it about 35 metres out. Tony Curry making a note for the half-time discussion. It's certainly kickable for a man of this quality. That's the distance he has, and he probably sees himself on the huge screen that's in that corner. No problems for Greg Barwick though, and London Broncos have the lead, courtesy of the boot of Barwick.
Been a long time coming. Defence is well and truly on top. This is the incident. But Russell Borden, he really is putting his body on the line. He's taking the ball up and caught one from that man there, Kieran Cunningham.
Kieran Cunningham making his 97th appearance, including representative games, here at Knowsley Road tonight. Hammond just pops the ball into the arms of Paul Newlove. A couple of quiet matches for Newlove at Wembley and at Odsal by his own really high standards. Northey will be relishing the opportunity to get back into this St Helens side. First start of the season, and he gets a knock on.
Well, the impact there. Borden made a big tackle on Northey, and he lost it completely with the impact as he goes down. Crunch time. There's a ball carrying arm, and when it hits the ground, there's no fingertips in there. He just lost it, did Northey. Well, a bad mistake early in the tackle count.
Edwards has scooted round the back of the scrum after feeding it, and he picks the ball up. Now he plays it to Tollett. Here's Gill. Great tackle from Pickavants. Whoa, what a hit!
Gill felt this. Ooh. Right shoulder, right in the breastbone.
Now Mestrov again. Clattered to the floor by Julian O'Neill.
Is it going to be a switch of play from Sean Edwards?
There is Edwards. Borden was the runner. Pops it back to Beasley. Here's Gill. Gill surrounded. Gives it back to Beasley. That's the last tackle, and they're 10 metres short of the line with Tollett. Tollett slides the kick through looking for Martin, and Prescott takes the gamble and just skips over the top of it. But he got a touch on it. It's a dropout. Just on his chest there.
Just. That was a close one. Yeah. He just made it before he hit the whitewash. That's the impact. Well spotted by the touch judge there and the referee. Well, the crowd boo, but he's spot on. We talk about the officials combining, and they did there superbly.
There are some huge hits going on out there. This is rough and tough, there's no doubt about it, but there's a measure of skill involved as well. St Helens perhaps crucially have missed 4 tackles. They nearly missed another one then on Dunford.
Good run from Dunford.
He had a fairly ordinary game last week against Wigan, but he started a lot better in the opening quarter of an hour here at Knowsley Road. As Gill rolls forward again, then gives it to Rosalind. Rosalind is just hauled back by Pickavance and Cunningham. Beasley having a go on his own. Ball bounces back. Beasley gets it away. That's a try. It's Mestrov. Tony Mestrov has scored the try for London. And that was wonderful play from Beasley. He was first to react, and he just popped the ball up into the big prop forward's arms.
Good play by the hooker. Run the dummy on the open side and then put the kick through. It ricochets off O'Neill. Scoops the ball up there for the prop Mestrov. But you've got to force the luck. And the lady luck shines on him on this occasion. Neat flip up there. Well spotted by the prop forward, who never gave up the chase. He was there on hand, but it was great play. Neat little kick through. O'Neill, it bounces off. What a great pass off the ground. Bang!
Well, Tony Mestrov is the man who makes all the hard yards down the middle. But Tony Mestrov there has come up with his first try in Super League. The Wigan game was his 50th for London, and that's his first try of 1997. Now Barwick, who kicked a beautiful goal not long ago, he's just 9 metres away from the post here at a slight angle. And this could be and should be another 2 points to the Broncos. 6-0 now. 8-0 with the striking of the football, and the Broncos lead by 8 points to 0.
You should never give in. You must always support. You never know what's going to pop up, and it does on this occasion. Mestrov read it well, but tremendous work by the hooker Beasley. He's getting into the swing of things now, Robbie Beasley. It's taken him a time to settle in with the London Broncos, but Mestrov gets the first try of the game.
Well, the man who makes all the yards up the middle, Tony Mestrov, comes up with a vital try, and the kickoff bounced in the field of play. And Carl Hammond didn't fancy it, although the ball was popping itself up for him.
Quite happy to take the scrum and head, or should I say head and feed at the scrum. I knew there was a combination in there somewhere.
This is terrific defence from the Broncos. Oh, Borden!
What a big hit from Borden. Pickavance, to his credit, bounces straight back. Well, they mean business. Oh, Pickavance said, what number was that bus? He didn't pay for the ticket then.
Goulding to Hammond, and Hammond hangs on because Krause had gone for the interception. Sullivan flies the ball into the arms of Goulding, and Goulding relieves the pressure. That's a great touch finder.
Let's get out of here. That's what's going through the skipper's mind. He knows that they are in crunch time. He'll just hang around, and let's hope that his forwards start to get back into this game. We have yet to see any of his runs. Normally runs the angle or running across the face of the defence, but the way that these London Broncos are moving and the fire that's in their belly, not surprising Goulding is hanging and waiting for his time.
Again, the ball comes out of the back of the scrum, courtesy of Gill to Tolson Tollett. Gill is the dummy half. The runner is Borden. Normally comes into the match and makes such an impact from the bench. That ball was tackled out of his hands by Perolini.
Tremendous stuff there. You'll see, I think it was O'Neill came in over the top. Crunch time there. Bang! Great stuff. Well played there by the prop forward, Julian O'Neill.
Edwards offside at the scrum. And it's a differential penalty. You cannot go for goal for the scrum offence. Bobby Goulding just asked the referee then.
Well, 10 years ago he may have been that fast, but certainly not now. Just a yard in front.
St Helens with an opportunity to bounce back with Pickavance. This is now a test of the Broncos' defence.
He dropped it.
No, penalty. Hands in by Rosalind.
Well, to be fair to the referee and all the players, they realise you're not allowed to touch the man at all. You can see Rosalind there still has hold of him. I don't think that it was rolling. Yeah, a little bit of hand in. Yeah, all spotted by the official Cummings. Just enough. Pickavance couldn't control it. He looks amazed, but the referee is spot on.
Midway through this first half, chance here for the first St Helens points of the evening, courtesy of the boot of Mr Goulding. 12 goals and a drop goal in the 3 against London in 96. 2 points against London in 97 at Knowsley Road.
He'll be happy that at least they're just a converted try adrift from the London Broncos.
I must say, Steve, I'm not used to the clean-shaven look from the St Helens coach yet. It doesn't look like Sean McRae, does it?
No, and the slick down hair, sort of, well...
It's not raining, is it?
30s style, I would say. You'd know about that.
Here come the Broncos again. Rosalind. Beasley dummy half. Gill gets the pass away. Supporting was Beasley.
Well, you've got to take your hat off to both these defensive sides. They really are moving up. Look at that. Forcing the sides into one-out football.
And then forcing Dunford back. Tremendous stuff from Goulding and from Julian O'Neill. Great strength from those two against the big prop forward. There's Mestrov again on the halfway line, grounded by Perolini. It's the last one. Barwick will kick downfield.
Referee's telling them to get back, giving the 10. Now it's all on. Good kick and chase, good tackle. Well, this crowd here, every time Sean Edwards gets a football or touches a player, they go bananas.
Now Andy Haig.
That was high.
Referee unimpressed. Danny Arnold.
It was Borden over the top. Certainly got him in for mine.
Newlove. Ball popped up. Newlove gets it back. Newlove drops it. Who wants it? London do. Play on, says referee Stuart Cummings.
Another forced error there. The coach, Sean McRae, will be far from happy from this.
Gill with a little half break. He looked over the shoulder. Nobody there. Borden. Good tackle by Cunningham.
Getting through a lot of work is Borden. They're playing the ball very quickly, and the Broncos are getting over the advantage line with ease. Look at that. The Saints side is just beginning to hang back in the defensive department now.
Last tackle, it's with Edwards. Thought about a drop goal, I wonder. High kick under the sticks, tester for Prescott. He's dropped it. Beasley paps the ball back into the arms of
They'll take
Dunford,
the first knock on.
The first knock on.
Which came from Prescott. Well, I don't know what the Broncos were thinking of. There you see it's a deliberate knock on, but one of the Broncos players tried to grab it. It was Beasley. Either way, it's more pressure for the Saints. Now then, will Gill peel away from the back of the scrum? Watch out for Edwards skirting on the inside.
Well, Peter Gill is directing traffic round the back of that scrum. Edwards will feed once more. They're 10 metres short of the St Helens line. There's Gill. Gill from the base of the scrum will get the try. What a tremendous try from Peter Gill. The defence simply melted away, and Peter Gill shot out like a rabbit from a trap.
Peels away from the back of the scrum. Edwards goes wide. Goulding goes with him. Open the gap. The 4 points are mine. Beautifully worked. Goulding points to the inside. They're not going to stop him. There's no way in the world they're going to stop Gill. Ian Pickavans peeled away, but it was far too late. Well, what a season this man is having. Playing at the loose forward position for the injured Terry Madison. Goulding can't believe it, neither can Pickavans, but that was a superbly worked move. Combination, Edwards going out wide, Goulding has to follow him. No one picks it up. You've got to point the finger at the loose forward, Andy Northey. He's obviously gone the wrong way.
Well, another try on Sky Sports for London's Peter Gill. And he's one of the form back rowers in Super League 2 as well. So this Knowsley Road crowd and the champions are shell-shocked. 12-2 down, and Barwick with the opportunity to make it 14 points to 2. Cool as a cucumber. 2 more points for the Broncos. Champions 2, London 14.
Question mark on the loose forward is still in. You can see Goulding goes out wide. Gill down the middle. Superb try.
Tony Curry, the London Broncos coach, I think will be well pleased with the opening 25 minutes at Knowsley Road. A lot happier than he was this time last week. Promised when I spoke to him earlier today that his players were up for this. They had trained hard. They thought that they owed Saints a beating after 4 if you include the opening day defeat at the Stoop. Thought that they maybe owed St Helens one, and at the moment it's all going according to plan, but a long, long way to go yet.
That could be their problem. Overconfidence at 14-2. You'd think that things are going your way. Beautiful pass from McVie.
As was that from Newlove to Sullivan, and he dinks inside Martin. Great tackle from Edwards though. Cunningham dummy half to Goulding. The Little Saints scrum half buzzing. Not the best pass, and if Fire picks up, he put Andy Haig under all sorts of pressure.
Well, they run the power play, did Saints. You can't blame them for that. Kick over the long pass, should I say, by Bobby Goulding. And Martin Fire came in, took the gamble. If they all would have missed it, it would have been a try time for Saints.
Well, 7 handling errors to 1 by the Saints.
And most of them have been forced errors because of this eager Bronco defence.
Edwards chips the ball over the top. A Fire is streaking down the field, and these two are taking an eternity. Arnold then takes control. Good run from Arnold, met by one Peter Gill. And
pushing
he gave him a second go, Peter Gill.
Wasted effort there, the loose forward did all his best to on the chase. But I must say that Tony Carey, the London coach, won't be happy with the way that only Martin Fire chased that football. They allowed Saints to get out of the red zone area.
Tell you what, Steve-O, we mentioned Martin Fire before the match, and there was a little question mark about him whether he would be up for this, having not played Super League for 6 weeks, but he is. So is McVie, who's got the pass from Hammond. Hammond got the pass away to Newlove. What a try! What a try for St Helens! Wonderful handling skills, strength, and Newlove injured as he scored, but he's got his 5th in Super League 97, and how important that one could be.
Beautiful play by McVie. Normally the man who passes the football, but you can see he just handed off Mestrov. Back on the inside. Beautiful play. Excellent stuff. Oh, this really was sheer skill. Beautiful play. Carl Hammond on the inside. The pass out wide. He did well though, did Newlove. He held himself back. What a fight back, and what a great try.
Well, before this match he needed 2 for 50 for St Helens, and Derek McVie placed his 49th St Helens touchdown on a china dinner plate. But he's hurt, Newlove. Goulding has to shut that out from his mind now as he goes for what is an important 2 points. And that's the angle he has. Good kick, but it just drifts the wrong side of the posts. 14 points to 6, and Newlove, I think, is coming off the field.
Well, that's a shame, but look at this. You can see Mestrov failed to fill in on that sliding defence. McVie went through, despairing attempt. Beautiful support on the inside from Carl Hammond. And what a beautiful pass. There was no doubt about it. It went backwards. Newlove takes his chance, but you could see him writhe in agony as he scored that try. Well, what a time to pick up an injury in the process of going over for 4 points.
Number 22, Vila Matautia, has come on for Saints. Meanwhile, London have also made a change. Mike Seavey comes on for the Broncos. Seavey, number 18, and there he is, straight into the heart of the action. Newlove, meanwhile, receiving treatment, and that was not played properly by Mike Seavey. Penalty to St Helens.
Well, the inexperience here from the substitute. Well, he never really controlled it from the start. Lost control of it. Nerves obviously playing a big part there. He's so disappointed. You can see that etched on his face. There's Newlove having treatment. He doesn't look too happy.
I wonder if it's another hamstring. Got ice on the thigh, and Sean McRae knows that his men are just struggling a little bit in terms of injury. 1 or 2 of them, I fancy, carrying knocks into this match. It's a long, long, hard season, and the World Club Championship to come. Goulding accepts gratefully the 2 points that were on offer for the awful play of the ball, and Saints claw their way back to within 6 points. Tony Curry, it was all going so very well not long ago. Now he's reflecting on a very expensive mistake after the first touch by Mike Seavey, the giant Queenslander.
Well, he'll also be very disappointed with the way that they allowed the big Australian McVie through out wide. He loves nothing better, does McVie, to run out in the centres.
Here's Seavey again.
Well, that's good thinking of the youngster Seavey to get himself involved in the game. It's no good sitting back and worrying about the mistake that you've just come up with.
Gill. Lovely ball back on the inside to Roslin. It was well watched by Cunningham. Here's Gill again. Now Tollett. Steps away from Matautia. Tollett couldn't get away though from the next man in. It was Andy Northey. Last tackle for the Broncos. Good deep kick. And it just went dead in goals.
Back to the quarter line. The option was good. Barwick, another player on the Broncos side with a lot to prove. He's been on the bench a lot this season.
Well, talking about the bench, Josh White is on the London bench, and he is one of the injured stars in this side, and he's talking to Bill.
Josh, what do you make of it so far from the Broncos' point of view?
We've gone well so far. We're trying to stay with them because we knew St Helens would absorb our pressure, but I think we're going really well. We're sticking to the game plan. As long as we can stay with them for 40 minutes, I think we can come home very good in the second half.
Defence has been awesome on both sides, hasn't it? Some enormous hits.
Oh, that's right. Both teams, there's no love lost here, and as you can see, they're throwing themselves straight into it.
Thanks, Josh. The news on Paul Newlove is they're going to give him 10 minutes. It could be a hamstring injury. They're not committing themselves just yet.
Penalty again to St Helens. Was it Seavey again? He came in as the flop.
Well, the tackle was completed. There was no need for that. The big fella arriving the second too late. Well, lack of discipline and the mistakes. We saw midway through this first half that it was the Saints who were making all the errors. But Tony Kerry will be writing down in that little notebook that the error count, the mistakes are climbing.
He's totally impassive. Sean McRae, Tony Curry's opposite number, but Mike Seavey, Steve-O's, touched the ball 3 times, and he's come up with 2 penalties.
Not the best start for the youngster.
Goulding to get St Helens to double figures. In off the post. Oh dear. He knows just for that moment the gods were smiling on him. Beasley is about to come back on. I'm just trying to check who's coming off, and I think it's Mike Seaby. I think he's been pushed on and dragged straight off. It is. The big fellow makes 2 errors, concedes 4 points, and he's gone. That's going to be one of the shortest substitutions appearance in Super League history.
Well, they'll be eager to get back on the field there to resurrect those 2 mistakes. It's an important passage of play for both sides now. St Helens, to their credit, they have clawed their way back. It was an error-ridden situation for them, but they have tightened things up. They've slowed things down a bit.
Great screens of forward pass, but that didn't look forward at all.
Looks okay from that angle. Pretty difficult, though.
Good kick over the top. Just turns St Helens round by Tulson Tollett.
Good thinking there. He realises that for once the Broncos were on the rack, so he wants to slow things down. Good tactics. They've been controlling the game so far up until the last 8 or 9 minutes, where the Saints, to their credit, they've clawed their way back.
Big penalty count against London, 8-2. Here now is Matautia.
Well, that shows you the problem at 8-2, that
And it's Matautia who's been pulled out here.
carrying the football and using the elbow. Crunch time there. Kraus would have felt that. You see the left arm go right into Kraus, and even though Kraus still stuck to him like a limpet mine, the message going through to the brain would be one thing: pain.
Vila Matautia, last try in the win at the Valley last July. Penalty against Kraus, who is breathing deeply. He felt that. So Greg Barwick bang in front and 15 metres out now with his penalty attempt. Yes, Kraus just feeling his throat. He's not missed yet, Barwick. Shouldn't miss with this either. In no rush. Why should he be? Finds the mark. 16 points to 10. London ahead. It does not go quiet, Steve-O, at Nosey Road when the Broncos get any points on the board. But there's a man who watches with quiet concentration, the London Broncos coach, Tony Curry.
Well, apart from a few areas late in this first half, I'm sure he'll be quite pleased. I think any coach should be pleased to go in at half-time with a 6-point lead here at headquarters of the Saints ground. But this is where they've got to move forward. The defence has got to be good now. They've got to try to keep St Helens in their own quarter.
Well, these two sides are certainly involved in the World Club Championship, which begins on the 6th of June. It's looming large on the horizon. Two leading contenders we're watching here, the Saints and London. We'll see them both on the very first day of that World Jamboree. It's Brisbane against London from Australia. And then in the evening on Friday the 6th of June, we'll be right here at Nosey Road for the Saints against the Auckland Warriors.
Nice kick on the blind side, but the skipper Goulding decided against running the power play. That's running on the last tackle.
Make a note, Broncos against Broncos, 6th of June at 1:30. Saints Auckland, 7 o'clock. It's the start of a true feast of rugby league on Sky Sports during this World Club Championship. And I wonder who will be crowned world champions at the end of it all. But these players, their images will be beamed across the world. A real opportunity for the game to push on and get hold of not only this country but the entire world by the scruff of the neck and prove what a wonderful game it is.
Hammond not happy. It was a late flop. Didn't need it. There you can see he just played all over Peter Gill. Well, that's not bad thinking either
Quick
by the
tough
hooker
penalty.
Beasley. Yeah, to rather than miss the chance, it was right in the middle. Shows you they don't really have a good, strong touch kicker in the Broncos side.
Gill. Good ball to Barwick. Another scream of forward. Never was. And I'm normally the first to scream forward, Steve-O.
Well, we said it before, they'd boo Fairy Godmother here, wouldn't they?
Beasley, dummy half. Barwick drills the ball into the ground, finds touch, almost hits St. Bernard. The Saints mascot sitting there enjoying this game as well. In fact, he did hit St. Bernard.
Good composure there by the centre, Barwick, realising that there's not many seconds remaining of this first half. I do believe that fitness is certainly going to tell. This has been played at a hectic pace.
It has, and remember, St. Helens, unlike the other clubs, Bradford, Bulls apart, haven't had a break for Wembley. Northey, off the ground, gets it into the arms of Cunningham. Here now is McVie. Wrestled to the ground by Peter Gill. Young Andy Haig, 21-year-old, the Academy International, plays the ball to Kieran Cunningham, another of the brightest of the bright stars here at Knowsley Road.
I must say that Cunningham is playing a lot better than he's done all this season. He looks up for this game. It's about his 5th or 6th run from the dummy half position.
Goulding with a chip over the top. Martin picked it up. St. Helens appealing for obstruction. The offence not given by referee Cummings.
There's a chip over. Well, you don't have to get out of the way. And he didn't.
That
Simple
was
as that.
forward. The catch for the fire to Kraus was.
What a time to come up with a mistake. Right on halfway, but it won't make any difference.
That's the half-time siren. You could hear just above the chorus of clapping and cheering for the forward pass. Well, Tony Mestrov got the Broncos off to a flying start with his try, and Saints, prompted forward by Bobby Goulding, lifted themselves as Tony Curry just checks the statistics from that first 40 minutes. His side leading by, and it's points to 10 at half-time. The Broncos lead the champions 16-10. So Saints, London Broncos way. And the kicks, the attacking kicks, London have made 5 to St. Helens none. And the penalty's 8-4 in Saints' favour. Interesting.
Well, the point there is that Bobby Goulding obviously has not got into this game at all. Let's not take anything away from the defence of the Broncos, but he needs to get involved a little bit more in the second half, and I'm sure that has been what Sean McRae has been saying to him. Get involved, Bobby. They need you.
Just checking through the St. Helens ranks, it looks to us as though Apollo Perolini hasn't emerged for the second half. We're just chasing the news on Perolini. He is certainly not out there. And it's Dean Busby who has come on in place of the big Western Samoan. Busby, who was on the transfer list, and we heard not long ago on his way to Salford. But so far he stays here at Knowsley Road. Salford Reds apparently wanted him on a loan, and that wasn't acceptable to the champions.
Nice kick on the blind side. Good tactics. And the thinking, good hard charges by the forwards. You can see the angle kick into the corner, just on the edge of the St. Helens quarter defensive line.
Hammond gives it to Matautia, giant of a man. Good tackling though by Tollett and by Marden. Busby with the first touch and great tackle.
This only 10 minutes, Eddie, is going to prove perhaps to be the key.
One or two players, Steve, out there who have not played too much football on the St. Helens side, I'm thinking. Men like Busby, obviously. And Andy Northey.
It's a time for them to dig deep. At least they'll have fresh legs. But whoever takes control in these opening 10 minutes of this second half, I'm sure will go on to win it. Psychological lift to score so early after the restart.
Midfield bomb from Bobby Goulding, straight up in the air. Prescott pats the ball down, but almost into the arms of Barwick, but Prescott retaining possession, and so it's the turnover. Now it's a penalty for offside against Saints.
No advantage there. Northey a little bit quick off the mark, but you saw there that the fullback Steve Prescott chased after that kick. The high shot shows that picked out the right man. He's a loose forward, Andy Northey. But when Prescott went for that football, he was left all on his own. They have to help him. They've got to chase as one unit.
Mestrov. Beasley, the attack down the blind side with Gill. Good tackling by Busby. I noticed, by the way, that Andy Gregory, the Salford coach, is a spectator here at Knowsley Road tonight as Tollett goes on a little run. He has support there from Borden. Borden gets the pass away to Edwards. And that wasn't forward either, according to referee Stuart Cummings. Tollett for the line. Stern defence. McVie was in there, so too was Andy Haig. And penalty now to the Broncos. Interference. He was pushed. Tollett as he tried to get to his feet.
Well, how long will the patience of the referee Stuart Cummings last? You can see that McVie, you're supposed to get rid of him, then he pushed him again. Not that Tollett didn't do a bit of a dive. Oh, quite dramatic.
Oh, it's an Academy Award, all right.
Nominated anyway. Not pretty, but he'll take the two. There was little doubt that McVie had the left hand on the shoulder. Appealing to the referee, but it was just pushed away. Cummings give the penalty, and surely this must be another 2 points. A gift, in fact, for Greg Barwick.
Yes, Tollett, the man who was pushed. Barwick, the man who's going to take the kick. Just to re-emphasise the point about Andy Gregory watching the Salford coach, Dean Busby, no doubt, a man that he has designs on. Here comes Barwick. Going to be another 2 points here for the Broncos. Easy from that range. He's been dead on with his kicks. 18-10, the Broncos lead.
Well, this was a break. Good passage of play. You could see that Hammond had moved about wide in the centre. Tollett. Good support there by Borden. Nothing wrong with the pass. Sean Edwards in support. Well, he's had a wow of a game, hasn't he, Borden?
He has, and that was the pass that was questioned by the St Helens fans. Barwick restarts. Hammond pops the ball into the arms of Matautia. Here he comes again. I tell you what, Steve-O, if he was running at me, I wouldn't stand there.
You don't play the game.
You're right.
These are athletes.
He's a fearsome figure.
It's been fierce throughout. No love lost. No prisoners are being taken. There's some big hits out there.
There is. And the Broncos are being barracked by the crowd, and so is the referee Stuart Cummings, because the 10 metres is narrow, and they claim, the St Helens supporters, that the Broncos are moving up and that they're all offside when the play the ball is taken, but Stuart Cummings isn't blowing the whistle.
Well, they don't like the fact because they thought that a Bronco hand had touched the previous play. It's a good kick, that.
Into the arms of Matautia, who spins away. He attracts 3 defenders. That was on the last tackle. That then is the turnover.
Was worth a try. The big fella took it, spun out of the tackle, but he was swarmed upon.
That's a great run from Nick Martin, the Scottish international. That's a Western Samoan international, though, Vila Matautia.
I must say, though, Eddie, I must question the St Helens tactics, especially when you've got a good kicker like Bobby Goulding. They've not put the young Nick Martin under any pressure, who has not got a lot of experience in first grade.
Beasley just over the halfway line. Edwards is the dummy half. That's Tulson Tollett. Here now David Krause.
Great defence. They've kept him quiet. Big centre Krause.
Edwards drills the ball into the ground. Anthony Sullivan picks it up. Sullivan is built for speed. Pops the ball inside to Prescott. Prescott taking on a fire. That's a good tackle from a fire. Sullivan, good tackle then from Peter Gill. Arnold. Again, the crowd giving Stuart Cummings stick. Busby. Goulding to Hammond. Hammond then to Norley. Norley on the break. Pickavance in support. That went forward. Back to one. It was. It touched the hand, so Hammond will score. It touched a London Broncos hand in flight. They went for the intercept to try and knock the ball dead and quell the danger. But St Helens swarm forward and Hammond gets the try.
Beautiful play. Hammond's pass there to Northey out wide. The dummy runner had pulled in Krause. Support was there. You can see Pickavant's pass. It came off Martin. And the big fella back on the inside. Hammond try. All right, a little bit of luck. But the play before it was just superb. Then it comes off Martin. And the big man, Tautier, runs through. Beautiful play there. Sucks in the cover defence and Hammond in for the try. But the pass that created that put Northey through the gap was just outstanding.
Goulding with the kick to put the Saints within 2 points again. 16 points to 18. And it's another thriller between these two at Knowsley Road.
There you see the inside runner coming on the angle. Krause gets sucked in. Look at the gap that was created there. That was sheer skill. Great support play. Matautian on the inside. Hammond with a clear run. Outstanding play from St Helens.
So the champions showing their true mettle here. They're back with 9 minutes of this second half play. They're in the hunt again. And they are charging into the tackle. We have seen some magnificent football between these two sides over the past 2 seasons in Super League. Whoever will forget the night at the Valley when the Apollo Perolini try was awarded by the video referee that I think just about changed the course of the Super League race. After that, there was no stopping St Helens. Here tonight, we've got another classic between these two. A real match full of raw-bone courage. And now a penalty for the flop on Anthony Sullivan. Mestrov, if looks could kill. Sean McRae, he looks the coolest cookie in Knowsley Road.
Well, Mestrov made a real meal of that at an important part of the field as well. Swinging arm there by Gill. Referee's coming, says get on with it. This is not chess. This is a real man's game, and they proved it tonight. But it was a swinging arm from Gill. I've seen many penalised for that. Good work by Cunningham. Get out of the way, Edward.
Suddenly St Helens appear to have stepped up a gear, proving perhaps what champions are made of. Northey to Prescott, to Andy Hay. Hay goes through a little gap, bounces off Edwards. What a run from Hay. Desperate tackle from Marden. The crowd are up and St Helens are responding. Goulding with the sliding kick through into the arms of Tony Martin. Wonderful defence though. Pickavance, Sullivan, Hammond.
Good positioning though by Martin, and that is wonderful defence. Krause is in the in-goal area. They go crazy here, the crowd. It has been wonderful defence throughout. Sullivan first, Pickavance, let's get him over. Hammond joined the fray. Crowd are loving this.
And no wonder, it's a great game. Broncos trying to take the heat out of the situation. Referee, though, holds the clock up and now restarts it because Barwick's drop kick reaches Prescott. And here comes Julian O'Neill. Tremendous run. Busby.
Oh, he's lost it.
He has.
Big impact tackle. The forced error. I think it was Mestrov that made the tackle, or was it the hooker Beasley? Either way, they come up with the ball at a vital time.
Saints charging into the tackle now. Rosalind felt the full weight of that. But the tackle man gets up and simply plays the ball. This match played in marvellous spirit. Gill. Great tackle by Hammond. Martin, the dummy half. Barwick slides the kick in through the defence, just calms it down.
Took a big gamble there, did Barwick. Sean Edwards was streaming for the football. He came from the blind side, took it on the run, kicked it into the corner. What excitement.
That's a big effort this from the Saints, Stevo, who have got 7 first-teamers out injured. The Broncos make a change. Mestrov goes off and Scott Waskell comes on. But the 7 first-teamers out include their vice-captain Chris Joynt with a shoulder, Hunt with the hamstring, and Tommy Martin, who's got lateral knee ligament damage and maybe cruciate ligament damage, which if it's confirmed under anaesthetic next week will mean maybe a second knee reconstruction for the luckless Tommy Martin.
But as you say, full credit to the guys out there on both sides. No one is given an inch. We said it would be heavy work.
Look
it
at
would
that.
be tough all the way through this. How can they stand this for the full 80?
Cunningham scampers away from dummy half. Well, fitness is the key to what you're watching here. These players pound the weights. They pound the tackle bags. And they do so much hard work on the training field. And then it all comes to the fore on match day. The kick downfield is an invitation to Sullivan. And what a run from Sullivan.
What a great kick though from Bobby Goulding. He's been quiet throughout, but at it again.
Young Tony Martin almost dragged back over his own goal line. Here goes Barwick. Barwick's tackled by McPhee. Saints getting stuck in now. They know their championship crown is on the line here.
No place for the timid.
Penalty to the Broncos.
Interference left the mark. Over enthusiastic Carl Hammond. He's absolutely bitterly disappointed. But you could see that Beasley still had hold of him. Now even the man playing the football is not allowed to touch the marker either. And Hammond retaliates, and he's the man that's penalised. How often do we see that? But what a relief for the Broncos.
Young Tony Martin thrown to the floor like a rag doll by Julian O'Neill. Borden. Oh, how about that? Hammond and O'Neill on Matt Dunford. They are bone-crunching tackles. They make you shudder. Oh, the fire got knees there from Northey.
Oh, that was stupid by Northey. That was just outrageously stupid. The knee went into a fire. It was clearly seen by everyone. We can do without that. We've just seen courageous play, hard play, but this, I'm afraid, is dirty play. There was no intention other than actually putting the knee in, and I'm afraid this guy has to go.
The referee, I think, is going to put Andy Northey on report. Well, we saw it. Everyone in the ground saw it.
The courage that we have seen throughout this game, the true professionalism, I'm sorry, but we can do without that. In the course of making a ball and all tackle, okay, the arm often goes over the top, but this, there is no excuse for it.
He's on report, Andy Northey. The disciplinary committee will take a look at that. And it's a penalty to the Broncos. Well, I said the game was being played in the most magnificent spirit, and it was until that moment.
Full credit to this man here, Martin have fired him. At least he bounced up, but he'll have sore ribs. And full credit for him going into the fray as well. Big heart, big effort.
Roskell.
It's all down to temperament now. Who's going to lose the head? Who's going to lose the cool?
Well, the message from the coaches to the benches, calm down. Tony Curry, Sean McRae passing their messages on. This is Martin. The crowd appealing that Gill went on an obstructive run.
There was no one in front. That's why it was waved away by Cummings.
Edwards to nobody. Mistake. The ball went backwards. Oh, Stuart Cummings will not be popular here tonight, but he's right.
It was a brave call. It's a good kick. Oh, taken well by Prescott. He's in fine form.
Offside against the Broncos now.
Krause obviously in front of the kicker. What a pace, what a tempo.
It's unbelievable, really is.
Pretty close.
What happened then, Steve-O? Did the top set drop?
Both, I think. Bottom jumped up and the top went down. Try to do that Spanish dance, canastas.
No comment. O'Neill.
Even my teeth want to get involved in this.
It's normally in the cold weather that happens, not in the height of summer. Another big one. Roskell this time, and Borden. And how about that, Dean Busby? McVie trying to run over the top of Edwards. Hammond, the dummy half, to Goulding. Short ball then to O'Neill.
Surely the high kick from Goulding.
He's got it. No, he's looking for the touchline, and all he's done is found Tony Martin. Mike Gregory is the Saints assistant coach. He's talking now to Bill.
Mike, this is a crucial time for Saints, isn't it? You're just 2 points adrift, but you've really got to keep your cool now. That's the message you've just sent out, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've just picked the tempo over the last 10 minutes. Fair play to London, they've kept with it. But it's the case, we need 13 players on the field. You know, we don't want to lose anyone. But, you know, it is going to be tough, and we've just got to keep going and controlling our sets of six.
Oh, fires away! He's got the length on Cunningham. Can he turn Prescott inside out? He can! That's a great try! Now then, the flag waved, the flag went down, and the referee wants to hand it on to the video ref. This is a big call for the video.
But why on earth didn't he pass the ball on the inside? I think he's made it. This is a remarkable try. It's Prescott that takes out the flag. That is one heck of a try by Martin Offiah. And that has silenced the crowd. But he nearly made a boo-boo of it. He had support on the inside. He went in and out. And Prescott went to him. He's still got the pace. He showed it there.
The try's given, and it's greeted with silence at Knowsley Road. But Martin Offiah proving here, with that try, his 5th of the year, that nothing has dulled his edge.
Beautiful play on the blind side. You'll see they keep the ball alive. It was good play by Dunford and then Barwick. But look at the Barwick on the inside. There was just nobody there. Barwick would have gone underneath the sticks. But let's not take anything away from Martin Offiah. The effort at the end. Good work by the prop, Dunford. Kept it alive, Rosalind, then out wide again, and look at him go! He's in top gear now, in and out. He knew he had Prescott, but why didn't take the option inside? But what a tremendous effort, he plonks it down. It's Prescott that takes out the flag.
Well, remember, not long ago, Offiah was injured in the tackle by Northey. Northey on report for the effort, and Offiah none the worse for the experience. And that was a try from Martin Offiah of old. Now Barwick with a pressure kick. Pulls it. So it's still not over. 22 points to 16.
Prescott goes to Offiah, but look at Barwick on the inside. He would have had a clear run. The only one who would have got anywhere near him would have been the referee, Stuart Cummings. But what tremendous play, what strength. He handed Prescott off just enough to squeeze in at the corner. It is a magnificent try.
Terrific try from Martin Offiah. That means it's 5 now this year. The top try scorer, a record 6 times in rugby league over the course of his career. Barwick's kick-off and a mistake from St Helens.
Well, I don't think he touched it. Oh, well, it doesn't matter, of course. It bounces in the field of play. My apologies to the officials there.
Dead in goal from the kick-off, having bounced in the field of play. It's a drop out from under the sticks by the defending side. So that's why the Broncos have got it back. Borden unloads the ball in the tackle to Beasley, who loses it.
Got to be a penalty, dragged it out. Oh, they've got away with it. Was it one-on-one? Well spotted if he did. Running through. Ooh, it's close. No, they got to him when the ball was whipped away there by O'Neill. Well, it looked to have a hand on for mine, but it's a split second. We've got the slow-mo replay.
Well, this is a real test of St Helens' character now. Not only the championship really for them up for grabs, but also this wonderful home record of theirs. There are plenty of candidates for the man of the match. Let us know your view on 0891 66 55 25. You can vote now over the next 20 minutes and tell us who is your man of the match. Some remarkable efforts from the individuals out there.
I don't want to advise anybody out there, but I can tell you it will not be Bobby Goulding. That was not the best kick. He's had a quiet game. Has he come into this game with an injury? A lot of these players have done that. Is it affecting him to the extent that he's just not getting himself involved? He's not busy like we've seen before. Let's not forget, if Saints come back and make it a draw, remember it was that draw at Wigan that virtually handed St Helens the Super League trophy.
That was last year. This is 97, and neither of these two sides will be interested in a point. They want to. High kick. Marden came and claimed it, but he's got the knock on against him.
Well, that's pretty difficult. I thought it was dragged out. He takes it, and it was dragged out one-on-one by Prescott, so that went back. Well, that's a big call again. He took it, and then Prescott took the ball away. That could change the complexity of this match.
It could change the complexion of the Super League in 97 as well. Busby. Goulding. Good ball to Matautia.
Solid defence.
Oh, he got the pass away. They thought it had been completed. Sullivan. It's going to the video ref again.
Tension
going
there.
To the video referee.
Was the player held anyway in the first place? Obviously Cummings hadn't called. Watch for the foot. Oh, that looks a try for mine.
I wonder if did he drop it? I think he lost control of it.
Whoa, fingertips, I think he got to it. Well, we've seen some remarkable tries. I think that one will be given. I'm not the video ref. Has he got full control? Oh, yes, for mine. That's try time. But I ain't the man.
Sullivan. Well, it's almost as big as the call for Perolini last year. Sean McRae watching. We're all watching. Oh, no try. Must have lost control as he tried to get the downward pressure. No try at Knowsley Road for Sullivan.
They'll be talking about this one for a long time. His feet, did it just touch the whitewash? It was very difficult to see. There was a body in the way, but I thought that was a try.
Ruling is he lost control of the ball. That's why it started again with a 20-metre place kick.
Well, what a let-off.
Well, little moments like that change the course of history. Remember the Perolini try last July at the Valley. I wonder, come the end of the season, whether we'll be talking about the Sullivan no try at Knowsley Road in the middle of May. Last tackle there for the Broncos. That's Barwick. And it bounced off Gill into the arms of a Fire who was stood in front of the kicker. offside. Accidental offside, turnover.
There's a kick there. Well spotted by Stuart Cummings. It's been a difficult match to referee. He's done a fine job, and so has the other officials. Ooh, that was pretty close. We didn't hear the forward pass for that one. Tense. Oh.
Pickavants. No one's worked harder than him. What a run.
Well, I wish they had 26 mini TVs. They've all played their part, haven't they?
Haven't they ever? There'll be some bumps and bruises after this. Saints appealing the ball was stolen. Referee says play on.
It was the impact of the tackle. Did he go for the arm? Here it comes. Gill, the impact. Crunch time. He lost it.
Roscoe, a man one try short of the club record for try scoring, 74. He has 73. Scott Roscoe, number 22, and what a night to claim the record here. Dunford, this could be a massive win for London.
But you can see Dunford there, who's a man who's noted for all that play on that's back to the charge. That won't be back to 6. It'll be the last one, this.
And Marden dabs the ball downfield, and he's chasing it as well, and Prescott took the gamble. Marden was only a couple of metres away from that, but he found touch.
He's had a fine game, this fullback. Marden, quick thinking on his own. Prescott quite happy to get the head and feed.
Steve-O, New South Wales are up in Brisbane on Monday morning at 10:55. We'll see it live on Sky Sports 1. But this match in Super League here at Knowsley Road tonight has all the intensity of a tri-series final.
Without a doubt, and that will be a tough one too. It could be gory. I'll have a big breakfast.
Offside against London.
Too eager. Saints want to get on with it. And rightly so.
Well, they're the side playing catch-up. Plenty of time left, 13 minutes. Big penalty count, 20 of them. Saints have had a dozen. Goulding, Hammond, Northey.
Big gamble there by Sean Edwards. You see him coming in at the angle.
What a run from Pickavants. He has had a magnificent match, the Saints' second row. Out the back door from Cunningham to O'Neill. Dumped to the ground by Beasley. Hammond from dummy half.
How much petrol is in the tank on both sides?
McVie again.
This will be the kick from Goulding. Has to be.
Goulding slides a kick through. It bounces for Prescott. Gill was there. Prescott didn't hang on to him. Gill got out of jail.
Confident there. Prescott gets onto the top, but the sheer power of Gill just shakes him away.
Roscoe. They're all
great
chasing
run.
him.
Runs like that can change the match. Good effort.
Marden
Full-back doing
into
his
the
work.
line more and more, the full-back.
Well, he knows that the two sets of forwards are really tired. They've got to share the work now.
Gordon, look at him go.
What a game. Oh, what a time to throw the football. Well, Bobby Goulding can't believe it. Now then, was it dragged off one-on-one by McVie? That's the reason why it's a knock-on. Well spotted.
Well, it's a penalty. If that's the case, it's 2 men on him. There's the hand on him. McVie, though, was the man adjudged to have ripped the ball out, and he did.
Bobby Goulding comes to it. And you can see he just had a hand. They were playing patty cake at the time that the ball was being ripped away.
Julian O'Neill comes off. And number 25, Paul Anderson, a 20-year-old Academy International, packs down in the second row. Tollett, tackled by Carl Hammond. Krause is the dummy half. Edwards to Barwick.
Full credit to the Broncos. They are not just closing the game down. They're trying to spin the ball out wide. Dummy runners. They're still using their game plan. They're showing the confidence.
Well, will Bradford go 6 points clear if they beat Warrington at Wilderspool on Sunday? Find out with us at 6:30. The only way they can go 6 points clear is if London win here. And at the moment, with Barwick on his way to the corner, they're on the way to a famous win. Now then, there's another big decision on the way here, I fancy, for the video ref. Barwick went for the corner. Did he get the ball down in the field of play? Did it touch the whitewash? You judge.
Plenty of heavy traffic. Oh, no. It didn't touch.
Oh, did it?
It didn't. I don't think it did. It did his own arm, his shoulder, and went over. Ooh. Is that full control? Bang. Does it get it down there? Oh, that's going to be a dodgy one, that. If Sullivan didn't have fingertip control, has he got forearm control?
Tony Curry anxiously looking on. Saints are preparing to restart with a tap on the 20. And that they will do. No try.
Well, he really couldn't give that one when Sullivan... Oh, play the football to nobody. What's happening here?
No, referee's whistle had blown. He wasn't happy that they got on with it. He called time off. Now he calls time on. And only when the clock is ticking can play continue. Stuart Cummings is the calmest man in Knowsley Road.
Certainly looks it.
There are thousands on the terraces who are biting their fingernails, and Russell Borden's just lost his head.
Why on earth does he do a thing like that? He did all the hard work and then just flips the ankle of Northey.
Here's Busby. Tackled by Rosalind, helped out by Dunford. Cunningham. Back into the arms of Anderson. Good little run from Anderson, this. Just on the sub. Goulding in the goal! And Goulding scores! Under the post as well. The scores are going to be level in a minute. Anderson, the young Academy International, Sean's on the phone, and Paul Anderson puts Goulding under the sticks.
I can assure you that Sean McRae's not talking to the Prime Minister. He's talking to the team now to just and settle down. But beautiful play by Anderson. How many times the Saints come up with a super sub? We've not seen anything from him all the match, and he comes up trumps. The skills of Anderson. Inside, Goulding, who's been hiding throughout the match, pops up from nowhere. The start of the show at this point in time.
And he's kicked the goal as well, so now it's all level. 22 points apiece. Well, even St. Bernard can't watch. Goulding with the try and the goal. It's 22 all. And how long left for play? Plenty of time for this game to be won. Well, how often can these two sides keep turning it on like this? It is fantastic. And I hope you've enjoyed it at home, and I hope you'll make your choice now for the man of the match. 0891 66 55 25. Penalty now to London.
Creates the try, gives away a penalty.
Going Peter Gill.
He's had a big game too. They all have.
O'Fire to Barwick. Barwick to Edwards. Edwards to Tollett. Tollett to Dunford. Surrounded by black, red and white jerseys.
Will we see the 1 point?
Funneled up the middle. Well, why shouldn't we see the 1 point? Maybe because Martin fancies 4. But he's going into 2:02 apiece. And who says they don't work hard for the money in Super League? Goulding.
Wasted kick. That was not the best kick there.
Martin. Collared by Sullivan. Here's Martin. Sullivan there, and also Goulding working so hard at the marker position at the play of the ball. Edwards to Krause. Releases the ball to Roskill, and Saints are on the charge again. Barwick. Tackled by Northey, who took 2 of them out.
Full-back Martin is down. I think he's took a knock in there. Stray boot. Borden again will not give in. He's hurting that one though. Goulding would have said, it's mine. Gone for the 1. You could see that he was trying to get the ball out to the centre, Andy Hay. Referee, rightly so, trying to give the advantage to Martin O'Fire and the Broncos. Oh, lucky there. It was a real mess-up. Gill and Edwards, and they were very fortunate.
Here's Salter.
Oh, it did go back. In a good position there, Cummings.
McVie homing in then on Rosalind. This is Robbie Beasley.
Tremendous run from the hooker.
Now are they setting up for the 1 point? Edwards, that's the last tackle.
Where's Barwick?
Barwick's behind the play, it's with him now, but that's good play from Hammond. Martin with a drop goal attempt. It's touched in flight anyway. Play on, Prescott. This has been sensational. Penalty to St Helens. Tackle completed.
Anxious by the full-back, he raced up well, did Martin. Well, was he stopped? Or did he control? Controversy reigns throughout this game. Seconds tick away, do not move.
The Saints have never drawn in Super League. Their record of 21 unbeaten here at Knowsley Road. Maybe it's going to stand safe with Sullivan, but he was just ankle tapped on halfway. Hammond hands it on, Cunningham. Now it's with McVie. McVie stands in the tackle. Pickermans again. Still going Pickermans. Cunningham completes the movement. This is Andy Haig, and they can't make any further progress.
Drive towards the sticks.
Goulding. Drop goal attempt from Goulding. Just wide. The ball bounces over and Meyer has to hack it.
Madness by Matautia. It doesn't matter whether you win by 1,000 points or just one. They've blown it.
Here's a fire. Tackled by Hammond. Sean McRae and Tony Curry watching anxiously on. This could be the biggest play of this match. Another drop goal attempt from Barwick, which never ever had a chance. Now 45 seconds remain, and Saints have got to get on with it.
Will there be enough time? The clock is ticking away. Superhuman effort from both these sides.
Well, the Broncos came up with the most important draw of 96. Are they going to repeat it here? Cunningham back to Haig. Haig to Anderson. He created one before, and away goes Andy Haig. Taking on Martin, nobody with him.
They've got to go for it now. Don't mess around. Go and go. Oh, what are they doing?
Cunningham to Arnold. Arnold back to Cunningham.
They'll run out of time.
Hammond
After this play, and that's it.
all over. It's 1 point apiece. Sean McRae disappears. Tony Curry shakes his head. He knows that perhaps the chance of a historic first ever win against Saints has gone begging. They led at one stage 14 points to 12. They led in the second half 22 points to 16. Bobby Goulding went under the sticks with 7 minutes left. It was 22 points all. There is very, very quiet applause around this ground, but everyone should be on their feet. Everyone should be applauding the efforts of both these sides, because they have produced an epic contest. 22 points all at Knowsley Road. A draw, really not enough for either side in these circumstances, but what a truly amazing match again between the Broncos and the Saints. 22 points all, heroes throughout both sides, and nobody could squeeze in a decisive drop goal. Who's the man of the match? Find out when we return.